Hello YouTube, I'm Pharaoh, and I'm back. Just got done with my second session of learning with the Mormons. Today, I had the 3 missionary women from the last time, and a new guy, a member of their church, was there. Anyway, so for today, they thought it would be a good idea to start explaining things in pictures, which is what I do when I'm talking to dumb people. I say, you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, I'm going to have to draw a picture for you now. So, we were drawing pictures. And today's artwork, which they drew up, I don't know if you can see that. It says, the plan of salvation right at the top. Okay. And here, see this? This is pre-Earth, okay? There's Earth. There's pre-Earth. And this is where you were before you went here. Okay? So, for some reason, they say you were in this spiritual world realm. You didn't have a body, you were just spirits, but you had a personality, you were yourself, you know, and at a certain point in time, which they couldn't tell me, I was like, at what point are you seen fit to leave this realm and go to Earth? At a certain point, you go to Earth. Apparently God decides whenever that happens. Okay. And Earth is where you get tested to see if you want to rejoin God in heaven. I was like, okay. Start to understand the concept. I asked many questions about this pre-Earth existence, you know, and like, how come I have no memory of it? Oh, well, you go through this thing. See, they have a line right there. That's called they call it the veil. They called it the veil. When you go through the veil, all your memories of this thing is wiped, so that you can go through this test in life to determine if you want to get back to know with God and all that stuff. And so there's the Earth, and it started out as the Garden of Eden, right, with Adam and Eve, and of course they ate the damn apple, and they got cast out, and the world basically just changed. That's what they're saying. And then they said a phrase to me that I just had to stop them and say, what did you just say? Because they said, and God commanded Adam and Eve to replenish the earth. And I stopped them right there and I said, did you just say replenish? Because you replenish things that are lost, you know, that aren't there, that were once there, not there anymore. Like, you replenish the grocery store shelves, you know, you replenish your supply of emergency supplies in case of an earthquake, you know. You replenish is replacing something that was once there and now is not there anymore, and you're putting it there again. So if Adam and Eve were the first, why does it say replenish? And they thought, oh, that's a good question. Oh, does it actually say the word replenish in the scripture? And they, oh, yeah, it says replenish. That's weird. I'll have to think about that one. So I caught them up on that one. So where is it? Oh yeah, the earth. So here's a nifty little picture they drew me. Earth. And then there's Jesus. I know, he really doesn't look like him. I think it's because he doesn't have a beard. Okay, and then they have the 2 things here. One is, the top one is spiritual death, and the bottom one is physical death. Okay, and whether or not you pick this guy to be your #1 favorite friend determines if you get to keep your spiritual life or if it dies. Okay, because eventually your physical death will happen no matter what. But keeping this one up here, you gotta be in with this dude. Okay. So that's what we were talking about the whole time. I tried to get in as many words as I could without being rude. I didn't want to interrupt or anything like that. I just have to, you know, I'd be like, I have to bring up a point, you know, and stuff like that. I asked them about endowment, which, if you don't know what endowment is a process in which it's like a secret, holy thing, process that you go through, where you basically confirm yourself to God and Jesus and all that stuff, and your marriage gets sealed. That happens there, and you get your magic underwear. So I asked them about the magic underwear thing, and I asked them about the different levels of heaven, because they have this concept that there's these different levels of heaven, like kind of like the different economic classes. You got lower, middle, and upper. I asked them about, you know, these other phases of the other parts of heaven, and they said, well, we'll tell you about that a little bit later. You know, we're not talking about that right now. We're gonna talk to you about that later. Oh, that's what this half of the page is for, but we're gonna come back to it at a later time. I don't know why they're withholding this information from me at this time. I can only speculate, and I can speculate that they're withholding it from me because if you tell people this stuff right away, they probably run away. So there's that. The other guy that was there, I was talking to him about how I'm reading the Mormon book, and it's hard for me to follow because, number one, it's in that old speak language that I have to like reread because I'm not used to words like taketh and yea and oh, all that stuff. And then I told him it's hard to follow because it has historical inaccuracies in it. And he said, what historical inaccuracies? And I said, well, there's a bunch of them. And he says, where? So I pulled out my little thing of questions and I went through and I'm all like, okay, well, let's see. Chapter 1825, they said that there are cows, oxen, and horse in the Americas in 600 BC, when we know that they didn't come over to the Americas until the Spanish brought them in the 1500s. You know, I brought up all these points to him. He was kind of silent a little bit after that. I asked them about, where's the thing? Because I don't know if you know this, their guy, Joseph Smith, retranslated the Bible into a more understandable version for his people. And I asked them if they use that version, because I thought they were just using the regular King James version, and they said that they do, but they read that it's weird because on the pages it'll have the King James version all up, and then the Joseph Smith version will be a footnote at the bottom. Like, this is what Joseph Smith translated it to me. The only people that actually read it with just the Joseph Smith translation and, you know, not as a footnote, as the actual text, are these people, Community of Christ, otherwise known as the Reorganized LDS. There's not a whole lot of them. And I asked them, is this part of your church? Are these part of your people? And they said no. Which I was like, well, they follow the same prophet. They read the same book. They have doctrines and covenants just like you, but they're not you. And they're like, yep. And I said, how can that be? And they said, well, they lost their ability to preach priesthood or whatever, because the leaders of the Mormon church said fuck off or something to that manner. So they're not really preaching the correct word. There's that. Let's see, what else? They were very thankful that I was very honest and open with them, which is one of the things I said I was going to do. You know, I tell them I'm honestly trying to just learn what you're all about. I'm not here to make fun of you or to blaspheme or anything like that. I'm here to learn about you guys. And so they were happy that I'm a nice, honest person, even though I'm an atheist. And I'm going to hell. Anyway, they gave me another free thing. One thing about Mormons, if you love freebies, they'll give you a butt ton of them. So they gave me this. This is a combination book. Okay, it's the Book of Mormon. It's the Doctrines and Covenants, which is, I asked for this. I was like, can I have this? I want to know what that is. And then it's Pearl of Great Price. And the Pearl of Great Price is, I guess, more works or more books about Abraham and stuff that Joseph Smith wrote about. And yeah, more stuff to read and find contradictions in. Hooray. It's all getting exhausting. But I have another meeting with them. So I'll just keep on plugging away with finding contradictions in their book and asking my questions, while they will still plug into me and try and explain the whole importance of faith thing that I don't seem to have. So yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. They're working on me and I'm working on them. But they don't know I'm working on them. Well, they kind of do. They know I'm inquisitive. Let's put it that way. So I'm just going to ask my questions. They seem real intent on me coming to church and stuff like that. They invited me to Sunday worship, and I said I'm not ever going to do that because I'd have to bring my daughter along with me, and I don't believe in doing that. I believe in raising my daughter without any particular religion until she is old enough to learn of the concept of deception. And once she's old enough that she can understand that there are people out there that will try and trick her, then she can go and choose whatever religion she wants. And I won't care either way what it is. She could even be a Mormon. If that's what she really wants, that's her choice. That's her right, and I can't take that away from her. Would it make me sad? Probably. But I'm not going to stop her. I'm not going to say what you're doing is wrong or anything like that. I'll just point out, this is what they actually believe, right? There's that. So, but they're starting to look at me a little different. They're starting to look at me like, oh, this guy's going to be in our church soon. He's going to convert soon. He's going to get baptized and all that stuff, which I doubt is going to happen. But they're starting to look at me in that light. So hopefully that'll help them bring out more of the secret information, the stuff they hold back from like the initial pitch, because they don't just ring your doorbell and tell you about the gold plates with Egyptian writing on them and the magic underwear and that stuff. They go fishing with, do you like God? Do you like Jesus? They catch you with those things, and then the craziness comes out later after they've got you hooked. So that's what happened today. Hope you guys have a nice fine day. We're out of here.